G'day there, Brenton Ranklis here, presenter for the Nine Network and proud ambassador for the SA Aquatic and Leisure Centre and the Watch Around Water Safety Initiative. And here today joining me is Adam Luscombe, the General Manager for the SA Aquatic and Leisure Centre, for the launch of SwimSAFER Week. Adam, this is a national initiative. What is SwimSAFER Week all about?
Well, Brenton, SwimSAFER is about swimming 365 days a year safer. However, in this week, November 15th to 19th, it's about learning those skills that you might start to find when you're in open water, you're in a boat, you're in a nappy bucket, or playing with a nappy bucket at home, in a bathtub, and all those types of things. So the kids learn how to do their swimming lessons a little bit different, with loose clothing on, with parents not around, all that type of stuff, so they can actually understand what happens if something goes wrong.
Oh, that's a great initiative, because when you consider, I heard an alarming stat that nearly 1 in 2 kids across Australia haven't been doing swimming lessons, and we know that the last couple of years have been a real challenge through disruption and restrictions all around the country, meaning that kids and families aren't going along to have their swimming lessons. So here we are on the eve of another summer where so many people are going to be holidaying in their own backyards, at local pools, home pools, the beaches and the rivers and waterways. Some of the initiatives, what are you going to be doing this week to try and prepare kids ahead of the summer season?
Well, some of the initiatives, children will be encouraged to come in loose clothing.
Yeah, right.
Feel what it's like to fall in the water with clothing on, because it's very different to a swimming lesson environment where you come in purposely to swim. All of a sudden, how do you get yourself to the side? How do you do a back float and really stay in that consistent? How do you tread water for a certain amount of time? Because that's what you have to do for safety. How do you aid a tow to get someone out of the water and all that? All those things that we can see play out in Australian backyards, Australian waterways, we don't want to occur, but we're better off with that education process.
And I kind of, fear that we're going to be a bit more distracted with so many people holidaying in their own backyards. It means the beaches, the pools, they're going to be so much busier, and it's going to be harder to keep a focus on your kids. So this is really equipping both the kids themselves, but as much the parents too ahead of the summer.
My word. And through some interactive stuff that the Swim Australia and ASTA have come up with, the PJ Masks characters, there's a lot of interaction with those. There's some new posters and so on to look at how the kids can learn through superheroes and superheroes around the water, because when our people do rescue people around the water, they are all superheroes. There's also some other stuff that we know 1 in 4 families can't afford swimming lessons at the moment. So ASTA are coming up, and Swim Australia coming up with a Swim It Forward program, which you can make a donation so people can actually afford swimming lessons. So wonderful opportunities galore to keep our public in Australia and South Australia swimming really well.
And you mentioned too just the 365 days of the year. We know that consistent swimmers are more confident swimmers, consistent swimmers are safer swimmers. So it's a great idea to think that, access for families to have those lessons is really important. What are some of the other key messages going into the summer?
Well, Brendan, I think all the Swim Australia swim schools that are around town and around Australia, and the ASTA brand swim schools, are going to be looking at consistent families being safer families. Yeah, we know waterways, we know beaches, we know pools, we know backyard pools are all come with that drowning statistic each summer. Yeah. We don't want to see that.
No.
Swim Australia and ASTA want a safer Australian community and safer Australian families this summer.
As a parent of 2 young boys who've had their lessons here in the pool, it certainly gives me the confidence that they have the water confidence, but it's as much as an investment for me, because I have to say, as a parent, I have loved seeing them grow and develop and become educated in the water and see them become stronger swimmers. So it gives me the confidence to know that they're a bit safer across the summer, but as well as that, the investment of actually bonding with your own kids. There's a lot to be said for that and how they develop. So look, I'm on board. Have a great summer, all the very best, and folks, look after yourselves. It's part of SwimSAFER Week across Australia.